Hello, cosmetology instructors. Hope you're doing good. I am coming to you from my kitchen. It is the start of the third week of school. It is Sunday, so tonight is school night. It is about 6:30, so I got done. My goal was to get this field trip stuff completed, and although it did take me bits and pieces the entire weekend, it's done. And I'm so like, oh, it's one less thing that I have to do. Now, no, I am not telling you that you have to spend your time at home doing work. No. I just was able to this weekend. We didn't have anything major going on. The in-laws didn't come over. My husband wasn't busy with training and stuff. So I just was able to sit and get it done. Now, yes, I could have done it at work. Yes, I could have waited, a month before the actual field trip to submit paperwork. And, I've done that in the past. And if something comes up, I'll still do that. But the thing is that the field trips that I know are going to happen or that I want to happen and need to make happen, if I already know all the info, just get it done now. That's one thing that I've learned through time is that if you just go ahead and get it done and get it out of the way, later you can focus on other things. And it just works for me. Not saying you have to do that. Not saying it's the best thing or way to do it, but it just is what works for me. So in our campus, we have to submit all of the paperwork 4 weeks in advance so that all the paperwork gets done. Because when I turn it in, the principal doesn't automatically take it and stop what he's doing and do it. And everybody, there's a process and people don't stop what they're doing to take care of what you need immediately. Like they have things to do as well. So that's why it takes 4 weeks because it's got to trickle through the system, of how this is the field trip system is to get approved, all the papers signed, copied, all of the things. And so it takes time. So now I have the time. Later, when we get rocking and rolling, I don't have the time. And I'm like, oh man, it's 3 weeks. And there I am looking silly like, I know it's in 3 weeks or it's in 2 weeks, but do you think you can? No, the rule is 4 weeks. So I'm well ahead of the 4 week mark for sure, even from our first field trip, which is in October. So let me share with you the process. Okay, so here we are at my kitchen island. Okay, so what if I do this? Nope, what if I do this? Yes, I'm gonna do this. My phone case catches the edge of that. I apologize. Okay, so this is the pile 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 field trips that I know are gonna happen. So I've gotten the paperwork done. I've done the research, planned the route, called the people, booked them. I have printed the papers, printed my papers to get my pages copied for the students, all of the things, done all the things, okay, so done. First, before all of this, I did my lessons and all of that, my layout, but then I did my calendar of events, my save the date, if you will. So I picked the date, looked at the calendar, make sure we're good. Bus blockouts, or for example, if we had, I forgot what I was going to say. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I just planned the trips. That's the first thing. Make sure that, testing, make sure we didn't have any blackout for testing as well. So plan the dates. After I plan the dates, okay, then I printed all the papers, all of the necessary things. So, okay, here. This is the field trip request form. We have to fill this out and turn this in 4 weeks before the actual event. And then there's a medical administration assignment. Now, these are just campus documents, okay? So I filled each one of these out. What are we doing? Where are we going? What's the address? Where locations? Do we have chaperones? Who they are? Do we need a bus? All of those kinds of things. What are the students going to do? Done. Then the medical release, which each one of these needs a copy of that. So that's filled out. So then I went ahead and printed from our district website, which is where you will find the field trip permission slip or medical release form. You will find it on you should find it on your district website. So I printed one of these in both Spanish and English, and then, because that's how it comes, although none of my other things are in English, in Spanish. But I went ahead, and again, this year I'm trying to find out what are my problems, why are my problems, and what can I do to avoid those problems or to fix the problems. So the problem is that the students would never fill this out right, even though I took time, passed it out in class, and said, okay guys, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, because they're always yellow, get your yellow paper out, let's go ahead and fill it out, put your name, and then I would go through all of this, and when they would turn it in, it was never filled out right. It was not, I mean, there are some kids that did it good, but some kids that didn't. And it was just so irritating because I took the time in class, out of class, lesson time to go over this, and they just would not do it right. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to fill it out myself. So for each one of these, there's like a mess. I've got my chanclas and toys and the house is, but I got this done. The house is a wreck, but I got this done. Okay, so we have... So one of these for each of the field trips, and I also we have someone that works in our workroom, and so she does all of our copies. So we have to fill this out, which is just our request, and we have to do it in red. So it's our request to, how many copies do I need? What do I need to buy? So I went ahead and filled that out, and I attached it to this. Then my rule is that you have to be passing your classes in order to attend, because the field trips I have are fun. Field trips are not they are tied to the educational part of cosmetology in my course, but if you don't go to these, it does not hinder your education. So these are optional field trips that is just extra. If there's any field trips that are required for the class or mandatory, then they don't have to be, we go by UIL stuff, they don't have to be passing because it's curriculum, tied to curriculum. Although again, this is tied to curriculum, it's a nice to, it's not a have to do field trips. So, but my rule is that if I'm pulling you out of class, you need to be passing, because I don't want to pull you out and then you're already failing and then you get further behind, and then I'm in trouble for that because I'm responsible for you, I'm pulling you out, and that pushes you back even further. Because I have the, what I call the 100 Club. So let's say that this trip is the 10th grade salon tour field trip, where I take the students to nail salon tour in this area of Houston. And 9th graders, if they have a 100 for the previous 6 weeks, they can attend this field trip. There's certain slots, first come, first serve. I'm coming, I'll get your dragon in a second, buddy. And so then 9th graders can go. So then 10th graders would go to the field trip, and then 9th graders can go. The next day, I have the 9th grade field trip. That 10th graders, if they're in the 100 Club, can go to that field trip. So, you can do both 9th and 10th grade. So, I would be pulling some kids out for 2 days, and so I want passing kids, not failing kids, because I don't want to hinder your grade more than what I already am, because I'm pulling you out already 1 day out of your week in all your classes. So they take this and they take it to all class periods. The teacher has to put the pass or fail or their current grade. If they don't sign it because they're not there, I look on the computer and I go off of what's there or email the teacher. And then if they're not passing, I don't take them. So teachers love this, by the way. They love it. And it kind of encourages the students to just kind of be more on the ball. Now, last year I did make each one of these specific for each one of the field trips, but instead of doing 11, I just made it more generic this year, and that way I could just copy paste and just be done with it. Then this one was made by our department head, the amazing Dr. Ryan. Dr. Ryan, she did go ahead and have this for her course, and so it's just an agreement, just kind of expectations on a field trip. She has it to where it's you sign it one time and you get done with it, but I changed it to where it's per field trip, and I think I added uniform on here or something of the sort, that you had to be in correct uniform. But other than that, I just noticed I printed the wrong one. Dang, it's for the school year. I printed the wrong one. Good thing I'm recording this. I changed this to say for this field trip, and then I added the dress code. Dang, I have to go back and fix that, but not a big deal. But I like that. It's just a repetitive, these are the rules, you're signing, your parents are signing, should anything happen, you signed. So then that's more documentation on my part. And then just my classroom reminders, I would again make one for every single field trip and be more specific. So I know I'm not gonna 10, 11 field trips, that's a lot. So then I just made this generic one, so just basic field trip reminders that we always do with, doesn't matter where we're going, some notes to remember, and then here we can write down, hey, we're gonna go here, 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 so the parents can take a look at that. These 3 things are stapled. They keep this one, they turn these 2 in, they turn this one in, and this one goes to my admin, not to the students. And then I went ahead for these 3, I went ahead and also filled out this, so that way I can, when I get approval, I get this back, I can just go take it, drop it off, get it copied, and then I'm done. And that's about it. So I just wanted to share that with you. I know every campus is different, every district is different as far as for, you know, your forms for field trips, but if you ever get the opportunity to, and just get it all done, and then be done with it. If something comes up or changes, that minor changes, that's not a big problem, or just cancel, it's fine. But I took a weekend to do this, but then from here to the rest of the school year, I would not have to do this. If this is 11 field trips, I would have to do this process 10 more times throughout the school year. When I took just 3 days to just get it all done. It would have taken me at least 11 days to do all of these if I would have done it later. Although it wouldn't have taken me, a few minutes, but then the calling and the booking and the calling the places and, MapQuest and all that, it didn't take a long time. So happy that I was able to get that off my plate. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye. All right, so I wanted to hop back on really quick just to say I've already, I'm making packets. So I printed extra copies, so I'm gonna go ahead and stack up each one. Let me zoom out here. And then I'm making a packet. So that way, if a field trip does come up, I have all of the papers, including my copy requests here. So that way, if I do indeed need to request a field trip, all I have to do is come over here and get my forms that I have already pre-printed. I have already, got prepared. It's a field trip pack, if you will. And then I have this ready to go. And I just get this out of my drawer at school or wherever I have folder, wherever, and then it's ready to go. I also have all of this in a digital format in a folder labeled field trips for the school year. Sometimes these update, so I make sure that I have the current ones for the current year to make sure I have the correct ones. And if I have something planned over the summer, then I have the documents that I can go ahead and do and prep over the summer so that next year I don't have to do all of this. So again, what's my problem? What can I write that down? What are the things that I can do to fix or change or avoid those problems, and then do it so that I might have to do more work this year, but I'll be prepared for the following years. Okay, just wanted to share that. Have a good one. Bye.